Ye Ancient Everton Toffee House and Mother Noblet's Toffee Shop were big fan favourites. Next, they say if you can't beat 'em, join 'em, and that's exactly what Ipswich Town did when it came to their nickname. The term Tractor Boys used to be chanted by their opponents as a way of putting the team down for their farming background. But during one game back in the late 90s, Ipswich were 1-0 up and they decided to flip the script. 1-0 to the Tractor Boys, they sang, and a new nickname was born. Let's head to Leicester, famous for more than just a red, well, orangey cheese and Jamie Vardy. Leicestershire is also the birthplace of fox hunting, hence the Foxes. Next up, turns out apples are not the only fruit that don't fall far from the tree. Bournemouth's nickname, the Cherries, comes from the fact the club's stadium was originally built right next to a bunch of cherry orchards. This next story actually involves two club nicknames. It started with Crystal Palace. They were having an absolute nightmare run back in the early 70s. They'd been relegated after a terrible spell and manager Malcolm Allison decided enough was enough. He wanted a new nickname, something strong, fast and destined for success. Something exactly like an eagle. But there's more to this one. Brighton were in search of a nickname too, and Palace finally gave them what they needed. In a heated match between the two back in 1976, Palace fans began chanting, "Eagles, Eagles." And some clever Brighton fans came up with the perfect reply, "Seagulls, Seagulls." Not all club nicknames have a crazy story, though. Take the Gunners. That just comes from the fact a group of munitions workers in the Royal Arsenal factory in Woolwich set up the club in 1886. On the flip side, some nicknames seem simple, but there's a bit more to them, like West Ham. The Hammers is actually nothing to do with the ham part of the name. It comes from the fact the club used to be called Thames Ironworks FC and was made up of workmen and shipbuilders. So next time the away ends...
Good morning, Katie Shanahan here on talkSPORT with Early Sports Breakfast. Good to have your company this Friday. Are you ready for the weekend? You know, I could not be more ready. It's been a busy, busy week and I cannot wait for a little bit of a break as well. I'll be on until 6 a.m. until Ray Party Parlour is back on talkSPORT Breakfast alongside the brilliant Shabana Hearn. Coming up on the show today, we'll be reflecting on the Europa League. We'll be looking ahead to the Premier League action, Arsenal against Manchester United, the big game of the weekend on the Sunday. We're going to be going live to the Australian Open in Melbourne, and we've got a special guest in our hot new feature. And of course, I would love to hear from you this morning. Get involved in the show. Let me know what you're up to and where you're listening to us around the world. That's actually one of my favourite things about this show. I get to figure out where you're listening. Yesterday, we had Brazil, Saudi Arabia, Thailand, Athens, and even the North Sea. Good old Kevin listening to us out in the North Sea. So wherever you're listening to us, let me know. I always like to find out and get involved in the show. The number to call is 03717 223344, or you could text me 81089. Right, let's get into it. And it's a very good morning to Nick Ellaby. How are you?
I'm all right. It's Friday. Come on, it's the weekend.
Come on, that Friday feeling. You know, it's 5:04 and I'm actually got that Friday feeling.
Good.
I'm ready. I'm ready for the weekend.
You got a tingle?
I've got a little tingle, yeah. That's the first time you've ever asked me that.
I'll tell you what I've got a tingle for.
I'm careful.
Top 5 at 5. Hit it, Dave. 3, 2, 1. Yes.
There we go. Okay, top 5 at 5. If you've been with us all week, we've been trialling out this new feature about top 5 at 5. And what is the quiz today?
Today we're honouring the massive football club that is Aston Villa.
Okay.
On fire at the moment. Unai Emery, you know, I think he's got 4 Europa Leagues, 3 with Sevilla and 1 with Villarreal.
Yep.
Can he do it with Aston Villa? But I want to know what are the top 5, or who are the top 5 Premier League goal scorers, just the Premier League. I know football didn't start in 1992, but I don't want you to have to name some guy that was banging them in the 40s. Who are Aston Villa's top 5 Premier League goal scorers? One of them, you know.
Well, Gabby Bonnerhall's got to be up there.
Number 2, right?
Oh, he's number 2.
70. Did you not know that?
Oh, I thought he'd be up there at number 1. All-time record goal scorer.
So he's got 73 goals in 322 appearances. Gabriel Bonglahor. Recently passed.
Okay. Recently passed?
Recently passed, yeah.
What, Ollie Watkins?
Yeah, Ollie Watkins.
Wow.
That's right, number one.
Wow, he's at number 1.
82 goals, 206. So actually a much better return than Bonglahor.
Yeah. Any other current players? This is what we do with the Newcastle. If you give me
did play on the wing a bit. And then the other 3 are from the 90s and 2000s.
Okay, well, what we did yesterday, which I enjoyed, we gave it out to you guys. Can you guess the rest of the top 5? Say it again, Nick.
Top 5, Aston Villa's top 5 Premier League goal scorers.
And the number to text is 81089, and we will read some of them out. Vince has gone with Watkins. Yeah, Ollie Watkins. We've got Ollie Watkins, and then Gabby.
Then Gabby, yeah.
And then we need to get the other 3.
And then we got 3 more.
Okay, that is over to you. You can help me out with the top 5 at 5 this morning. 81089. Keep those texts coming in. Good morning to Darren. Trucker Dow's on the M6. Love the show. Keeps me going on my route to Livingston to deliver some bananas. Well, there we go.
They need their bananas up there.
They do. They do.
Godspeed, Darren.
Nick, thank you so much.
Nice
We'll be
one.
back very shortly with the back pages. Okay, it was a night to forget for Nottingham Forest in the Europa League, but Aston Villa march on into the knockout stages. Here's how Thursday night sounded on talkSPORT.
Now an opportunity to swing it in. Sancho header! Villa have scored, and very quickly, almost out of nothing, a cross from the right is headed in by Jadon Sancho, and Aston Villa have done what many teams can't do, and that's win away at Fenerbahce.
I think Villa are the team to beat in the competition, full stop.
There was a push in the back, and the referee has given Nottingham Forest a penalty. Gibbs wide, saved down to his left by Hornacek. And here's Hawker at the other end. Oh, right towards his own goal. And incredibly, within seconds of missing a penalty at one end, Forest concede an own goal at the other. I think Elliot Anderson has said something to the referee, and he's been dismissed. Nottingham Forest hopes of a place in the top 8 in the Europa League have taken a massive dent here. Braga 1, 10-man Forest 0.
Yeah, we've had such an action-packed week of European action, haven't we? And the Europa League was centre stage last night. Aston Villa beating Fenerbahce by 1-0. Jadon Sancho scoring his first Aston Villa goal with a first-half header. That puts Aston Villa through to the knockouts with a game to spare. So it just gives them a little bit of respite, especially towards these latter stages of the season. All these games and just getting through to the knockouts just means there's no chance of a playoff. So they are third. They are, well, actually now second in the table, just behind Lyon. And you feel as though they've got good chances to win the competition. 6 wins from 7 now. And talkSPORT's Andy Townsend, a former Aston Villa captain, of course, says that Villa can win this competition.
They're going to be in the top 8, aren't they? They've got a home game next week, I think, against Salzburg, which they will be very much expected to win anyway. I think Villa are the team to beat in the competition, full stop. I think when they're at their best, and if they can get some of those injured boys back and they're not as serious, perhaps, the likes of John McGinn. I know that Camara's going to be out long term, but if they can get those other guys back and get them back quickly, I think Villa have got plenty, and I think they can win this competition this year.
Well, their manager, Unai Emery, says he's dreaming of winning this trophy, and he's done it plenty of times before. He has a record 4 Europa League titles with Sevilla and Villarreal, so he knows how to win this competition. And despite being the 7th most successful club in English football by trophies won, Aston Villa's last piece of silverware was actually the League Cup back in 1996. So Aston Villa, desperate for a trophy. Also, I don't know if you saw this, but Unai Emery had a bizarre row with Yuri Tielemans as he came off. So maybe stuff will come out shortly about what that was all about. But a very pleasing sounding Aston Villa manager said he's focused on lifting another Europa League title.
We have a clear objective in this competition, is to be contender for a trophy, to be contender in case winning this trophy next year you are playing in Champions League, and through our league is very difficult because we have a lot of teams contender more than us to be there. And of course I am here with Aston Villa dreaming to get trophies.
I mean, they are having such a good season, aren't they? They didn't get off to the best of starts. It took them a while to get their first win on the board, didn't it? But they have been on such an amazing run recently. And, despite Unai Emery saying that and thinking that Aston Villa aren't Premier League title contenders, despite sitting third in the table, 7 points behind Arsenal, Emery now knows that this is a chance, and he's dreaming of winning this competition. He knows how to win the Europa League, 4 Europa League titles with Sevilla and Villarreal. So can they go on and win the title? You can give me a call, 0371 722 3344. You can text me 810 89 and keep those to top 5 at 5. Quiz answers coming through. I've had plenty of those through, and I will read them out very shortly. As for Forest, well, not such a great night for them. They lost by 1-0 at Braga, and Forest were booed off by their own fans, which wasn't great either. Also, in terms of sequence of events, it just didn't go to plan at all. Really bad day at the office. You had Morgan Gibbs-White, had a penalty saved, guessed the right way. I think that's back-to-back misses now for Morgan Gibbs-White. 55 seconds later, Ryan Yates scored a really awkward own goal, kind of running it into his own net. And then Elliot Anderson then got sent off late on for dissent. So Forest now slip to 15th in the table and almost certain of a playoff. And Samira, the Forest fan, called Jamie O'Hara on Sports Bar last night to say he'd get rid of the manager.
I'd sack Daesh. I don't want Daesh, and I don't even know if he's going to keep us up. And actually, with West Ham picking up that result against Tottenham,
well, you got Brentford away at the weekend. I think they've got Sunderland. They've got Sunderland at home, live on talkSPORT. Yeah. It's early kickoff. They could be only 2 points behind them by the time you kick off.
Yeah, and we've got Brentford, and although we beat Brentford's first game of the season, we had Chris Wood then. He scored 2 goals. I mean, who's scoring for us? We can't score for Toffee. We didn't score against Arsenal. We're not scoring goals, and we don't score goals, and that's where we are.
Also, news coming out of Manchester United: Casemiro is to leave the club at the end of the season in his 4th season at Old Trafford. He arrived from Real Madrid back in 2022, 5 times Champions League winner. For £70 million from Real Madrid. He's added an FA Cup and a League Cup to his trophy cabinet. 146 games for Manchester United, 21 goals, 13 assists, which is actually pretty good for a defensive midfielder. Is he off to Saudi? Where is he going to go next at the end of the season? Reports are suggesting that he could be off to the Saudi Pro League, who are targeting some big names this summer. And talkSPORT's chief football correspondent, Manchester United fan, Alex Crook, says supporters raised a few eyebrows when he came in as an ageing star.
I have to say, overall, I think he has become a bit of a fan's favourite since then, mainly because of his attitude and his application. Leanne and I had the privilege to commentate the 5-4 win against Lyon in the Europa League last season that booked United's place in the semi-final. It was his cross that set up the winner deep in extra time for Harry Maguire. So that was an iconic moment. I remember him scoring a big goal, I think, at Chelsea. And his celebrations in front of the United fans in the shed end were quite exuberant. So I think he's someone who brought into what the football club wanted to do and what the football club meant, but he probably was just signed 5 years too late.
He was also on a lot of money, 350 grand a week. Sir Jim Ratcliffe has actually publicly highlighted how much he's on. He's even hinted that some players are overpaid and not good enough, naming Casemiro, Højlund and Onana during that interview, saying they were inherited. Well, former head coach Ruben Amorim repeatedly said at one stage that Casemiro had dropped so far down in his thinking. He was behind Toby Collier, who has now joined Hull City on loan in the pecking order. And I even remember Jamie Carragher saying after that heavy defeat to Crystal Palace in May 2024, leave football before football leaves you, about Casemiro. And at the end of the season, he was left out of Ten Hag's FA Cup final starting lineup. And you just think, has it actually been, has the writing been on the wall for quite some time as well? Well, actually, Casemiro has said this. He's come out and said since, the announcement. I'm just going to try and get these up for you. Just give me one moment. Casemiro has said that since the news of him leaving Manchester United, he has said this. He said, knowing when stages come to an end, knowing when to say goodbye, when you feel that you will be remembered and respected forever. 4 months to give my all for this badge and for our goal. Eternal respect and affection for Manchester United and its wonderful fans forever. Red Devil, which I thought was a nice touch. So Casemiro to leave Manchester United at the end of the season. Okay, thanks so much for all your texts on Top 5 at 5 this morning. Aston Villa's top 5 Premier League goal scorers. A number of you have got it right. So number 1, we guessed, was Ollie Watkins with 82 goals. Then, of course, it is Gabby Bonhor with 73 goals. And then number 3 was Dwight York, 60 goals. John in Devon, well done. Matt from Atherton, also well done. And Baz up the Villa. You all got it right at number 3 with Dwight York. Number 4, Dion Dublin, 48 goals. Well done. Fulham 75, who got that. And Juan Pablo Angel got it. It was number 5. That was 44 goals. Well done to Vince and Matt. So there are Aston Villa's top 5 Premier League goal scorers for our top 5 at 5. Katie Shanahan here with you this Friday morning. Hope you're getting ready for the weekend. It's 5:16 and coming up next we're going to be getting into the back pages, and it's week 2 of our hot new Friday feature with a very special guest. Good morning. Good morning. How are you doing this Friday morning? Katie Shanahan here in the chair until 6 o'clock when Shabana Hearn and Ray Party-Parler will be taking over with talkSPORT Breakfast. Remember, we are now on your DAB radio, your smart speakers, YouTube, and of course on your smart TV as well. Here are some of the headlines you're waking up to this Friday morning. 10-man Celtic drew 2-2 in Bologna to keep their Europa League hopes alive. Rangers are out though, despite their 1-0 victory at home to Ludogorets. Thomas Frank insists he continues to have the backing of the hierarchy at Tottenham. Spurs hope to end their 4-game winless run in the Premier League when they travel to relegation strugglers Burnley tomorrow. And Spurs have completed the signing of fullback Sousa from the Brazilian side Santos yesterday. And remember, for more on the day's biggest stories, you can go to talksport.com. And in case you missed it yesterday, Robbie Williams will be playing live on talkSPORT Drive on Thursday. Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent are welcoming Robbie into the studio. He'll be playing tracks from his massive new album, Britpop, alongside some classics too. So Robbie Williams live on Drive next Thursday, the 29th of January from 4 p.m. Really looking forward to that. Speaking of superstars, it's 5:20 and that means it's time for week 2 of our new Friday feature.
Knowing me, knowing you, there is nothing we can do.
Yes, on Knowing Me, Knowing You, we get to know more about our very special guest. And today it's Huey Morgan, big-time DJ and frontman of the fun-loving Criminals.
Running around, robbing banks, all whacked on the Scooby snacks. Running around.
Okay, so let's get into it. Question number 1 for Huey is, what's your Uber rating?
My Uber rating, I think, is 4.82. I think I might have told one dude to do one once, but I've been pretty cool. If it's cold and they be quiet, I give them 5, so they hit me back 5. Americans tip in general. I mean, to this day, I go out to dinner with my wife, and the servers think I'm hitting on them. I'm not. I just want stuff brought, I want stuff brought in a timely manner.
That's quite a high Uber rating, I think. I'm actually below that. So Uber ratings, and we've put it into a league table so far. Huey's at 4.82, probably because he tips them, and I probably need to tip a bit more. Shabana Hearn, also 4.82. Chris Evans has never used Uber, apparently. Well, there we go. And I'm at the bottom of the table. I mean, it's a very small table, but I'm at 4.77. So what have I done? Maybe my husband used the Uber account. That's what I'm putting it down to, maybe this one time. Or maybe I need to tip a bit more. But I always leave the Uber going, I'll give you 5 stars, hopefully. But maybe that's not what they're doing. So that is quite funny. Question number 2 is, what sports clip makes you most emotional when you watch it back? Well, Huey's taking us back to a classic World Series of Baseball for his beloved New York Yankees.
It would be the Mr. October game. Was it Game 6, 77? Reggie Jackson, 3 consecutive pitches, 3 consecutive home runs. I remember the first one, we were like, ah! And the second was like, ah! And then he was coming up for the third, and like all of New York City was like, yo, he could do it.
Reggie Jackson has seen 2 pitches in the strike zone tonight, 2, and he's hit them both in the seat.
And he literally did it on the first pitch. Bam.
Goodbye. Oh, what a blow. What a way to top it all.
So, yeah, that was one that, to this day, it just gives me tingles.
So I was just thinking, what kind of emotional sporting moments do I look back and I just kind of get a tingle? Probably when, with my background, having played England hockey, I suppose, watching Team GB win the 2016 Olympic gold medal, mainly because when Holly Pernwed was stepping up to take the last penalty flick, it was when I'd been training with Holly for years and years, and for 10 years we were just saying at the end of every England session or Loughborough session, we would say, imagine this is for the Olympic gold medal at the end of every training session. So when I was then watching her walk up to take the Olympic gold medal moment, I was thinking, we have practiced this for over a decade since we were kids. This is the moment. And I still get tingles when I see her, walk up and take that. And then obviously she put it into the back of the net, and they became Olympic champions back in 2016. So, that would probably be a moment that will stay with me for a long time. That, and also the 2003 Rugby World Cup final when Johnny Wilkinson scored that incredible drop goal with the last kick of the game. So probably those 2 would sit with me. Question number 3 is, who headlines the main stage and alternative stage at your dream festival? Huey's a DJ and a musician, so he struggles to pick just one.
Well, I'll tell you, main stage, you'd have to have Led Zeppelin, because they're my favorite band of all time, right?
Oh, let the sun beat down upon my face. Stars to fill my dreams.
I think the Beatles could maybe do a little warm-up for them, but they'd have to do Rubber Soul in its entirety, because that's my favorite record by them. That's their most rock record.
Beep, 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 beep.
and then probably opening up the whole day, probably some Pink Floyd. If they do like that Pompeii easy thing with their no shirts on kind of vibe for the girls. And I guess the alternative stage, I'd get Echo and the Funny Men, which is a funny band. It's mixing Ian McCulloch and then my band. So it would be kind of like him being the lead singer and I'd be his guitar. I'd be his Keith, you know what I mean? And then I'm trying to think of what a good old school band would be. On that tip, probably the Buzzcocks. They would be a good band to get back together because they can't get back together. And then, because they were late from the night before, have Guns N' Roses open up.
Well, I think those are some pretty good options that are going to be hard to beat. I was just thinking alternative stage. I might even put something like Frank Moody or something. I love the band Frank Moody. I went to see them recently, and so maybe on the alternative stage, but I don't think you can beat Guns N' Roses and many of the others that he picked out. So don't miss Huey Morgan's new weekend show on Virgin Radio. Really pleased that we were able to get him onto our feature, Knowing Me, Knowing You. 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. you can hear Huey Morgan every Saturday and Sunday. He plays hip-hop, funk, rock, punk, jazz, soul, reggae, pop. So all of them. And lots of rare stuff from around the world. Here's why you should check it out.
Well, I tell you, like people who enjoy all types of different kinds of sport, on this show we play all types of different kinds of music. So if you don't like what you hear, wait 3 minutes, I got you.
Oh, really good. Okay, keep those texts coming in this morning. Just had this one from Stephen. Hi, Katie, Dundee United fan, listening on the drive to work in the deep Japanese countryside. I would love to go to Japan. That is probably on top of my list of places to go. So good morning, Stephen. And also very good morning to Nick Ellaby.
I would absolutely love to go to Japan as well.
I'd love to go to Japan.
Good heavy metal bands in Japan. And horror films.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because you love your horror films.
Futuristic toilets.
Yes. I've experienced quite a few Japanese toilets. They are amazing, but there's too many buttons. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I'm like, what shall I press? What's going to happen?
I always wanted to go. It's on my list.
Back pages. Where are we starting?
FA Cup anthem. You having that?
I actually am, you know.
What's your favourite?
If it's good.
Which do you like? What do you prefer? The champion? Can you sing for us? Champions League. This was the champions. Right, and then
Nick, that was amazing.
You can do Europa League, right?
It's more the facial expression that I
I have to really contort myself at this time in the morning.
But
do you know what?
Prefer the Champions League music.
That Champions League music is done its job. Because when everyone talks about it all the time, and when you hear it, and the players talk about it, Thomas Frank talked about it before his first Champions League game with Tottenham, didn't he? Hearing the music. So if the FA Cup can get it right, it could be good. What about the Europa League one? Do you like that one?
Not.
La, 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 la. Not as good, is it?
Not as good. Champions League has the element of drama, and it also goes on for quite a long time. I remember being at Champions League games, and there's those kids with the flags over the ball, just doing it for ages.
Do you know what the lyrics are?
No.
It's just like, these are the best teams, the best, but it's in 3 different languages.
Oh,
so if you just read it in English, it just sounds stupid.
Yeah. Well, my friend recently got married, and they walked out of the church to, I kid you not, the Champions League music. So I was like, I know this song, but obviously it was like with violins, and I was like, this is amazing. And I also was like laughing at my friend that he managed to get this signed off.
It's based on Zadok the Priest, isn't it? Who's the composer? Someone will text in and tell us. But it's a famous piece of classical music that was adapted. Bad injury news in North London. Arsenal fear Havertz's knee injury may be chronic after latest setback. This is Izan Khan writing in the Daily Mail. Arsenal have concerns over Kai Havertz's long-term fitness after the forward's knee flared up on his recent return from injury. Havertz injured on August 17th, hasn't started since. Does that concern you as an Arsenal fan?
Yes, however, we do have options, but
So my question for you then is, who would you put up top, Gyökeres or Gabriel Jesus?
Gabriel Jesus probably on form at the moment in terms of he's just come back from injury. He looked sharp, though, in front of goal. Scored 2 goals the other night, didn't he? So I think you kind of have to base it on form.
Yeah. Big fan of Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, Gyökeres did score a good goal the other night, but it just hasn't quite hit the ground running he scored like a lorry load of goals for Sporting Lisbon. But, this is the Premier League.
Two decent options, though, to be fair, for Arsenal, a battering ram and, a guy who's got a little bit more guile, a little bit more pace. Meanwhile, Tottenham, very quickly, Thomas Frank says he feels cursed with the Tottenham injuries. Lucas Bargwell Bergvall, facing an extended period on the sidelines. That's added to his, all of those injuries that Tottenham have got. And I know I've got to go, but Saudi summer move inevitable after Salah U-turn. This is Pete Hall writing in the iPaper. Saudi summer swoop is already being prepared for Mo Salah.
Wow. Mo Salah. We were talking about Saudi. We got Casemiro being rumoured. Mo Salah.
Well, Ben Jacobs, talkSPORT reporter, reporting that apparently Saudi dealmakers are looking at going for like 50 big names this summer to try and make a big push. Do you ever watch the Saudi Pro League?
I do, yes. Yeah,
is it good?
A little bit. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's all right.
Have you got a team?
Al Nassr.
Well, the Ronaldo one.
Yeah.
Mane's there as well, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Well,
Yeah.
I love Mane, so maybe that's my team as well.
There we go. Nick, thank you very much. This morning for the back pages, Katie Shanahan here with you this Friday morning. talkSPORT Breakfast is coming up at 6 o'clock with Shabana Hearn alongside Ray Party Parlour. Up next, we're going to be looking into the front pages. It's 5:30. Good morning.
Premier League teams have got a load of crazy nicknames. Ever wondered where they came from? Some are pretty straightforward. Arsenal are the Gunners because they were founded by a group of munitions workers, and Bournemouth are the Cherries because their old stadium was built right next to a cherry orchard. Then there's Everton. They're dubbed the Toffees, but why? Well, because when the club was formed, just down the road there were two local toffee shops. Ipswich Town nicked their nickname off their opponents in the late 90s, Birmingham. The term Tractor Boys was chanted as a way to tease the team about their farming background, but they started using it themselves as a way to cheer on the team in victory instead. Take that, Birmingham. Let's head to Leicester, famous for more than just a red, orangey cheese and Jamie Vardy. Leicestershire's also the birthplace of fox hunting, hence the Foxes. Crystal Palace's nickname came from an extreme makeover. They were having a nightmare run in the 70s, and when they were relegated, their manager, Malcolm Allison, wasn't having it. I know what'll make us better, he thought, a new nickname. The Strong and Deadly Eagle sounded like a pretty good bet. And there's more to that story. Brighton used Palace's nickname to inspire their own. Ooh, bird, they thought. Let's just pick a different one for us. And so in a heated match between the two teams back in 1976, when Palace fans began chanting "Eagles, Eagles," Brighton fans had the perfect reply: "Seagulls, Seagulls." So next time the away end's chanting their crazy nickname, you'll now know exactly where it came from.
Good morning. Katie Shanahan here with Early Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. Happy Friday. Hope you're ready for the weekend. And wherever you're listening to us, keep those texts coming in. They are flooding in this morning, so thank you so much. Here are some of the headlines you're waking up to this Friday morning. Lucas Paquetá is out of West Ham's game with Sunderland, live on talkSPORT tomorrow lunchtime amid continuing uncertainty over his future. The Brazil international will miss a third straight match as he tries to negotiate a move back to his home country. In rugby union, an Ulster head coach, Richie Murphy, has signed a new deal that keeps him there until the summer of 2028. And England captain Harry Brook admits it was good to be back playing cricket after recent off-field controversies. His side suffered a 19-run defeat to Sri Lanka in the first of 3 one-day internationals.
Just get back to the day job instead of talking about a load of other stuff. But no, it was nice to get back out on the park, and unfortunately we lost the game, but there's still a lot of positives to take from today.
And the second match of England's 3-game one-day series in Sri Lanka is live on talkSPORT 2 and talkSPORT's Cricket YouTube tomorrow morning. And of course, for more on the day's biggest stories, you can go to talksport.com. Right, it's 5:37 and we've got a cricket competition for you.
Win a trip to South Africa with the Barmy Army on talkSPORT.
Here we go. Love this little music. Our next competition has arrived. England's cricketers return to South Africa next winter. And as always, the Barmy Army will be out there in full force. And this time, you could too. We are giving away a week for 2 at the 2027 New Year's Test in Cape Town every day of the match at one of the world's greatest cricket grounds with flights, hotel and spending money all covered. It's your chance to secure 2 spots with the official Barmy Army, so you'll be right in the mix with the rest of the fans. Listen up, here's how to enter. For your chance to win, text WIN to 83338. Text costs £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or call 0343 418 7260. Lines close on the 6th of February at 4 p.m. That's when you'll need to answer your phone if it rings. 18 plus, UK residents only. This is a network promotion. Full T's and C's at talksport.com. So for your chance to win, text WIN to 83338 now, and a very good luck.
Win a trip to South Africa with the Barmy Army on talkSPORT.
And now it is time to say hello to a man who's been so brilliant on the radio with your updates, your personality, because we are talking all about the Australian Open tennis in Melbourne. It's a very good morning to Toby Gillis. Hello.
Good morning.
Hello. So what's happening in the Australian Open tennis today?
Katie, when you have an alarm go off at 10 to 1 in the morning to come and start watching the tennis, what you really want is a proper humdinger. And I have to confess, when I saw Aryna Sabalenka's draw, world number 1, up against Anastasia Potapova, the woman that knocked out Emma Raducanu, I thought, oh, nice, easy, straight sets, 6-3, 6-3, whatever it'll be. It was sensational. Sabalenka was pushed to her absolute limits. Yes, it was straight sets, 2 tie-break sets, but it tells only half the story. First set was tight. Sabalenka, massive problems returning second serves for some reason, usually one of her strengths. Pushed to the limit in that set. But then, cruise control for a little while in the second set. Led 4-love, 2 breaks. You think it's all over. Potapova turning it on its head, pulling it back to 4-all. Sabalenka then breaks again. You're going, okay, it's over. Broken back again, taken to a tie-break. Potapova gets 4 set points. Sabalenka saves them all somehow, including a double fault, annoyingly, from Potapova on the only one she had on serve. And then Sabalenka somehow going through. But there are huge doubts, I think, over Sabalenka after this performance. You know, she's 2-time champion, lost in the final last year, surprisingly, to Madison Keys. And on this evidence, there is a lot of work to be done for the woman who, of course, spent most of the off-season talking about that men versus women match with Nick Kyrgios.
The battle of the sexes.
Yeah.
Did you watch that?
I did watch it, yeah, from purely journalistic.
Yeah. At the 9-2, actually.
It was.
I found it a bit cringe, if I'm honest. Also, as a women's point of view, I just was like, I don't think he's at full, stretch. And I just think that the whole thing was quite bizarre.
Well, of course, he's back in the headlines after what happened in his doubles match yesterday.
Yeah.
Yet more outbursts.
Yeah, they've got the same agent, so I was like, what happened here?
Yeah, how did that happen?
Yeah, so what's the biggest storylines from the Australian Open tennis? Can Novak Djokovic win this record 25th Grand Slam at 38?
I don't think so. No. I think his best chance for me is Wimbledon. Where the points are shorter. He's been so dominant. Look, this is his most successful Grand Slam. Many people would say this is his best chance, but I think on hard now, finding a way to beat Alcaraz and Sinner, reaching a semi-final for him now feels sort of par. He's still better than everyone bar those two.
Yeah.
I watched him yesterday morning. He's won both his matches now, exactly the same score, 6-3, 6-2, 6-2, and he looks sublime. But I've just watched Carlos Alcaraz, destroy the 32nd seed Corentin Moutet 6-2, 6-4, 6-1. I've seen Sinner, all right, the first round there was a retirement, but he looked serene yesterday again. And I think they're a level ahead. It would take something monumental. Now, Novak Djokovic is not somebody who doesn't do something monumental every now and then, but at 38 against these two, who to me look like they've hit the same heights that Djokovic was at his best, I think it's probably too much of an ask here. And if it's ever going to happen, I'd say Wimbledon, but I think we're probably past that opportunity, and Margaret Court's record will be shared forevermore rather than beaten, my suspicion.
Yes, and Stanford Brink also showing that age is just a number, 14 going strong. So
that was incredible yesterday.
Yeah, it was amazing. Thank you, Toby, for that.
Thank
That's
you.
all we've got time for.
The Australian Open update on talkSPORT with TNT Sports. Stream every set live on Discovery Plus or watch TNT Sports channels on EE, Sky and Virgin Media. Subscription required. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Okay, keep those texts coming in. We've been asking you this morning a number of things, but one was the emotional moment that you when you look back at a sporting moment, what moments gets you quite emotional? David Hutchinson, thank you for your text here. He goes, the thing that gets me every time is Derek Redmond pinging his hamstring in the Barcelona 9-2 semi 400-metre final, and then his dad helping him finish the race. Do you remember that? Gosh, that was such an emotional moment for everyone watching. That and the Dini in the playoff semi, raw emotion. David, thank you so much for your text there. Right, it's time now for this.
It's a front page throwdown.
Oh, what a move.
The front page is first on the early sports breakfast.
talkSPORT.
I always love this part of the show because I have no idea what is coming my way. The front pages, they can be filled with boffins and UFOs and aliens. And Emma Cohen, good morning. What do we have today?
Well, I thought I'd start off with a bit of showbiz, actually.
Oh, okay.
Because I've started dabbling a little bit on Virgin Radio, and I messed up a bit yesterday, so I want to redeem myself.
Oh, right, okay. Don't do it on my show, thank you very much.
One of the listeners commented on one of the social media posts about my correspondence skills and said I was...
Correspondence skills.
She described me as more like a competition winner. To land this one with you.
Yeah, and then I would decide if you're a correspondent or not. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
The Oscar noms were out yesterday. So
the noms, okay, that's a strike down.
Horror movie Sinners scored the most. So they've got 16 nods. And the previous record was set by Titanic, La La Land, and All About Eve, and they had 14. That's huge.
Massive.
Yes, I didn't even know there was that many categories to be honest.
I didn't either.
Have you
this is 2-0 down. You need to say that you know this information if you want to be the showbiz correspondent. I hate to break
whatever I'm thinking, it just comes out, Katie.
I'm learning that.
Yeah. Have you watched any of them? Like Titanic?
Yeah, I've watched Titanic. Yeah.
Oh, I loved it.
I love it. Jack.
I know, and there's still just never enough room on that door, is there?
I know. And also, whenever they see each other now, it's just everyone's like, oh, Titanic at the moment. But yeah, what a brilliant film.
The top 10 saddest towns have been revealed. We're doing a gear change now.
Yeah, that's quite the gear change. Thank you for the showbiz correspondent. Now we're into what? Town correspondent.
Do you like what?
Do I like towns?
Norwich is the top spot, which I find really surprising. I've been to Norwich.
People in Norwich text in 81089. Say what?
Stoke, Swansea, Manchester, Edinburgh, also in this top 10 saddest towns list. They're just saying that the January blues is really the hard hitting in those areas, but no other reason why.
Oh, that's it.
I can't.
So there's no stats.
I can't give you any more than that, to be honest, at this point.
Someone could have just made that up.
I know, it is such a small little section, but I've highlighted. There we are.
Okay.
Then we've also got a pub landlord claiming to have caught the moment a ghost pushed a pint until it fell off the bar onto the floor. Are you into ghosts?
Yeah, but I'm talking about, a pint. So
yeah. Richard Hawthorne, he took over this pub in County Durham, and then apparently it's actually on CCTV footage showing him chatting to a customer when this pint just falls on the floor.
Oh, right.
I mean, it's spooky.
Yeah, but he didn't exactly pull a pint, did he?
No, that would have been better if we'd have seen the ghost actually do a bit of work.
Fill up. Yeah. You'd think he'd be drinking spirits anyway.
Exactly. So, I mean, if you're into any of that.
Ghosts and pints.
Yes. It made me think, though, about... Have you seen Daisy May Cooper?
Yes.
And her brother, Charlie? They did a show and they were staying over in like haunted little spooky locations, which was quite fun.
Yeah.
I just think them two together are really good.
Yeah. So we've had quite, I think it's a work in progress, showbiz correspondent, but I enjoy your input.
For having me.
When you're like, I don't know if that is a thing. But yeah, thank you so much for the front pages. There was a real mix there. The saddest towns. What was it? Norwich, Edinburgh.
Yeah, and Swansea.
Oh,
Stoke. I mean, there's 10 of them apparently.
There's 10. So the title says. Thank you so much, Emma Kerwin, showbiz correspondent. You'll be back for more entertainment, I'm sure. Thank you so much. Right, the time is 5:48. You're listening to Katie Shanahan here on Early Sports Breakfast. Up next, we're going to be looking ahead to another blockbuster weekend in the Premier League. morning. Katie Shanahan here on talkSPORT with Early Sports Breakfast. Shabana Hearn and Ray Partipala will be coming up in 8 minutes' time with talkSPORT Breakfast from 6 o'clock. And as you may be aware, Alan Brazil felt a bit poorly yesterday, but he's doing okay. So we wanted to play Rod Stewart for him. We're wishing him a speedy recovery, and we'll be back on air very, very soon. So this is for Big Al. Okay, as for the football tonight, loads of football coming on this weekend. In the Championship, 8 o'clock kickoff. You can listen to this on talkSPORT 2, an exclusive derby up against West Brom in the Championship. That's 8 o'clock. Tomorrow, you've got the lunchtime kickoff of West Ham up against Sunderland. That should be a cracking game in the Premier League, which you can listen to exclusively on talkSPORT. Then 2:30, Game Day Live on talkSPORT with Adrian Durham, with all the goals as they go in. Then on to Sunday, 12 o'clock. This is huge. The South Coast Derby in the Championship. talkSPORT 2 exclusive. Portsmouth up against Southampton. That's always huge rivalries. Huge rivalry, isn't it? And 1:30, you've got Game Day Live on talkSPORT. Sam Matterface with all of the goals as they go in. And then on Monday, 8 o'clock, Everton against Leeds in the Premier League, exclusively on talkSPORT. So yeah, in terms of those games, you know, West Ham, Sunderland, that's going to be massive in the Premier League. Burnley against Tottenham. Burnley 13 games without a win, but Tottenham desperate for a win and just a turnaround in form, especially at home. I know they just got a win at home in the midweek, but Thomas Frank really needs to try and turn around his fortunes to keep him in that job, even though he says recently that he does feel the trust from the board. Fulham up against Brighton. You've got Man City facing Wolves. Wolves 5 games unbeaten, and Man City back-to-back defeats and trying to recover following that bruising defeat against Bodo Glimt in midweek. 5:30 kickoff sees Bournemouth facing Liverpool. 2 o'clock, you've got Brentford against Nottingham Forest here. Crystal Palace against Chelsea, and Newcastle against Aston Villa. Newcastle, they've got a tricky run. They've got Aston Villa, PSG, Man City, Liverpool, and they're waiting on that Bruno Guimaraes injury that didn't look good in the last game. And then the big game on Sunday, 4:30 kickoff, Arsenal against Manchester United. Jose Mourinho, did you know, was the last Manchester United manager to win at the Emirates. So does Arteta, when he's looking at the team sheet, trying to plan things out today, does he go with Gabriel Jesus up top or Victor Gyökeres? Gabriel Jesus scored 2 goals in their last game in midweek. Yes, Gyökeres got 1, but Jesus, he's been out for 11 months and he's come back looking fit and sharp. 4:30 kickoff, Arsenal against Manchester United. Big game for Michael Carrick as well. Spurs boss Thomas Frank is still under a huge amount of pressure. He's spoken about building consistency after the Champions League win over Borussia Dortmund in midweek, ahead of going to Burnley tomorrow.
It's a big task, but that's what we want, and that's where we want to be. It's a big task to perform every third or fourth day. We want the big task, and we need to perform every third or fourth day. But that's where we, how can you say, build that strength, determination, mental power, focus to go, resilience to go every third, fourth day. That's what we are trying to do our very best to build on.
Okay, let's hear what's coming up on breakfast this morning. Shabana Hearn and Ray Partipala are in command of your Friday morning, getting you ready for the weekend. On the show, they've got Wrexham's Executive Director, Humphrey Kerr. We'll talk about the transfer window. They're doing so well, Wrexham, aren't they, in the Championship? Alan Pardew looks at the turmoil at Crystal Palace and Newcastle's tricky run of games. And 2022 Traitors finalist Wilfred Webster will be on the show as well. You've been listening to Early Sports Breakfast with me, Katie Shanahan. talkSPORT Breakfast is on the way next. Have a great day.